Hey guys, just because my first video went down well and you guys have been promoted to officers, or if you're already in an officer position, I decided to actually make a video to explain certain points that would help you be a better officer, or what you need to pick up on, or whatever, okay? There's several things we're going to run through, like what you need to do on a battlefield and what you need to do off the battlefield. I will first of all go through what you need to be looking at off the battlefield, okay? As an officer, obviously you take responsibility now in the chat box, and also you should be a moderator on the site. If you're not yet, just tell me and I can change that instantly. With being a moderator on the site, you're able to make sure that the forums are okay, just make sure that nobody's really swearing excessive amount, things like that. On the chat box, obviously you want to be watching out and make sure people aren't aggravating each other, they aren't swearing and aren't causing trouble with other clans, things like that. So please, by all means, if you have to, ban them, but please talk to them in private to get through to them. What you need to do when you're talking to other members, obviously at this point you're now an officer, so you have to kind of create a distance between yourself and them, because you're not really mixed in and involved with them all the time as buddies as such. You've got to be higher up, but not in a way that people will look at you and think, I don't particularly like him, he's too distant. You need to keep friends with them. You've got to find the right balance between being a leader and also a friend. So you notice that I don't particularly talk a huge amount when I'm in the chat box, but at the same time I still keep friends with everybody. It's a good way so that people will respect you and know how to connect with you. So if you can try and find a balance like that, that'd be good. What you need to then do is you need to apply that when you're actually talking to people. It's obviously you can't talk to them exactly the same way as you used to, but now you can do so. You need to, if they have an issue or they dislike someone or anything that's an issue or problem or something you need to try and sort, you need to be able to talk to someone in a way that will never be patronising, it won't make them feel down, and you need to be able to say the correct things, really. So this requires a level of maturity, something that you'll have to try and find on your own. You can obviously take lead off what another officer does, so as we say, lead by example. So just have a little look around, see what people are talking. I mean, if you want, you can ask me, I'll give you a few hinters. When it comes to other clans and you see people, our members with them, you need to make sure that our guys aren't causing aggravation or lying or smurfing or anything like that, because, you know, we as a clan do not want war, okay? We want to not declare war on any other clan unless we're in really desperate situation, and we don't want any clan to be declaring war on us. So you are there to control the guys now, whether that be actually on Falk or off on the site. You can obviously ban them if you're on the site, and if not, tell them that they need to leave the room or whatever. Or if they you need to be firm but not too forceful. If they start to say no or basically disrespect you or not listen to you, you can threaten them with, like, I'll tell chief or high rank, or even possibly will have you banned or something like that. Okay, so use power if you have to, but try and talk to them as friends, okay? What's that? Right, when it comes to leading on the battlefield, you need to, it's a whole different gameplay now, because leading on the battlefield to being a warrior is two different things. If you're now in charge of a team, there's certain things which you have to do, and you can basically make like a checklist in your mind. At the very beginning, you'll be given your team, or you choose your team. You need to be able to look at the map, and you need to be able to decide who's got strong points and who's got weak points. You need to be able to work them to the map to the best of your ability, so that they will perform the best. Obviously on the map you'll then need to give, preferably before the match begins, you need to give your team a brief on where you want them to go at the beginning. So obviously middle guy techs, gets base mine, top guy goes for the top mines, bottom guy goes for the bottom mines. You know, explain to them what they need to be doing at the beginning, and what you need them to spawn and where they need to spawn it. Don't do it so much so that they feel like you're in complete control and that you're holding their hand and things. You need to just give them a nice indication, like it would be best if you spawned your fighters over here, or it'd be better if you sent your guys in this area and you used frigates. That would help. Don't say, I want you to do this and you must do this, because that's being too forceful. You got to talk to people as friends. Throughout a game, there's several things you need to do, like be alert and communicative. Those are 2 key points. You need to be alert because you need to be planning all kinds of things from the word go, even before the match begins. At the briefing, you need to be planning what you're going to do. So you need to know whether you're going to go focus on one area to get a sensor, or go for the mines, or just apply the pressure, or whatever. So you need to plan what you're going to do, what you are doing at the moment, and also what you're going to be doing. What you could do if something occurs, like if they do a bomber rush or something like that. So you need to plan that. You can ask your teammates whether they have any suggestions on what to do or whatever, but when it comes down to it, you need to be the guy who makes the decision. Once you've made your decision, stick with it, okay? Don't let other people push you around. But remember, if they start to push you around, talk to them firmly, not forcefully. With being alert, this involves things like you have to be looking at all the updates, you need to be looking at money, you need to be looking at all of the map. You need to always be looking around, looking at how they're attacking, how it's going, what's occurring, things like that. And what you need to do is that you need to be talking a lot as a leader. You need to be telling your team what's happening, whether you see something that they haven't, or whether there's a sudden change of plans, or where you're going to be spawning in, where you're going to be focusing on, and generally how things are going. When it comes to upgrades, if there's multiple upgrades, get one member to do one upgrade so they're all done at the same time, rather than one person stock up on upgrades, because then that doesn't benefit your team very well. Get your guys talking to you as well. Remember, if they have ideas, get them to fire them forward, but in the gameplay, instead of always looking, ask them, how are you doing, give me a report, things like that. If they're talking to you, then they feel more involved, keeps them happier. So, get your guys involved as friends. You don't want to just be there dominating the control. When it comes down to ending the game, obviously say good game to the other team and things like that, but you need to be able to say, well done to your team, like you did great teamwork, I liked your little trick there, or whatever. Actually, but if there's also been a bad point on your team, tell them, and but don't do it, like I said, in a way that's patronising. You got to be able to inform them, like, at the beginning of the game, you weren't so quick to get this mine. It's better if you do. It's better at the beginning of the game if you send your fighters there immediately, because that'll benefit the team the best. If you're able to phrase things like that, then people won't feel so down. If they do, you need to comfort them, make sure that they're not feeling like you're telling them off, because it's all just advice from here. So just be nice friends that they can link to and understand. Talk to people. This is not for Battlefield now, this is for in general talking to members. Talk to the members. Find out if they're happy, if they're not, if they see any problems, if they have any suggestions, and then pass them up to the higher officers, or try and answer them if you can. You need to, as a beginning officer now, this is your time to really make the impression of what kind of an officer you are, so you really need to kind of push forward on being helpful, being nice, being good on the battlefield, things like that. So this is your time to really make an impression. If you have any problems, you can always talk to myself or Sal or any of the higher officers, okay? Talk to anybody, it doesn't matter what it is, we'll answer it as best as we can, and we'll help you as best as we can. I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to end it here, as it's almost 10 minutes long. Oh yeah, by the way, no suit. I was only wearing the suit because I had just come back from school, and I wear a suit to school. So yeah. I'm just going to leave this up here for you guys to have a look at. Obviously, if you have any other questions, just ask me and I'll see if I can help you as best as possible. There may be one or two things that I haven't involved in here that may come up. If so, then tell me, or you may have to try and experience yourself, because a lot of the stuff you do. But just handle things as best you can and go by these certain points that I've said, and just make sure that you try and hit them, because generally they will lead to being a better officer. Okay? Right. Talk to you later, guys.